Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Cafe Enchante, and we're at the Atome Cafe. I'm so excited. This is like the best thing ever. Well, okay. Next best thing to actually having all of these games localized. We've got one, well, two, if you count Code Realize, and I'm sure someone noticed, where the fuck is Victor in those chibis? We got Lupin, we got Impy, we got Saint Germain, we got Van Helsing, we've even got Cardia. Where the hell? I'm sorry, Spacey. Where's Victor? That's rude. Anyway. So, and then some other chibis from other characters that I don't know. Which could be related to the games, you know, next to Yanagi that we don't know, we don't have, but also, those outfits are fabulous. Anyway, we're just gonna pick up where we left off. I don't want to, I just want to look at the background more and just dream of all the games we don't have. Anyway. Wow! Amazing! As we settled into the eager crowd of fangirls, I heaved an astonished sigh. My people. Gorgeous decorations, big illustration panels decorated all around us. At the back of the shop was a humongous widescreen TV playing Atome-related trailers on a loop. Oh my god. For a moment, I thought I'd found myself in just such a game. But that was silly. Oh, nice one. Just as I anticipated, he was in his element. Spacey, our seats are this way. Let's hurry and take our seats. After our meal, we should try to hurry to the photo booth. The fallen angel, liberated from his usual graceful veneer, frolicked around excitedly. Wouldn't we all frolic around excitedly in this event? As I reminded him to calm down with a genuine laugh, I took a glance around. Il stood out, that much was true. Thankfully, unlike last time, it seemed the other guest assumed he was with me. The thought gave me relief, and I headed toward the seats Il motioned towards. Oh my god, we're so close. We can almost touch them. As we were sat in our chairs, my eyes darted around the table, staring in awe at the luncheon mats and other memorabilia. I watched as Il carefully stowed the paper luncheon mats into a case without creasing them. Then we both peered at the menu. Got a file folder, like slip it in carefully, got a plastic liner, like put some like felt down between each one. As we flipped through it, Il's eyes widened at the vibrant photographs inside. Magnificent. And this dish is an homage to my favorite character. How they managed to reproduce it to near perfect accuracy stupefies me. Welcome to Japan, Il. They do things that stupefy most of us. Like, you did what now? Why does that look so nice? Meanwhile, everything we do here is just like kind of fucking shoddy. It's depressing. And not to mention the intricate detail on this exclusive utensil with symbols of his engraved into the handle. Wow, they really spared no expense. I never would have noticed, but it's little details like that that just get you fucking excited. This is the coolest spoon ever! I'm sorry, I hope it's a spork, though, because sporks are far more fucking useful than people think. I'm just saying. Could use more sporks in my life. I have, like, one. And I actually use it for my, like, sugar. For coffee. Because then I don't have to put a regular spoon in there, because I use my spoons a lot. But sporks are really great and useful when you're trying to make egg salad, because you need the fork, the tines of the fork, to smush up and cut up the egg nice, right? To get in there, get nice small pieces. But then you need the spoon to be able to, once you mix it with the mayo, to be able to get all the last bits of the delicious egg salad out of the bowl that you mixed it in. So instead of wasting 2 utensils, if you had a spork, it'd be fucking perfect. All I'm saying. Anyway. Yes, it's a superb reproduction. This is the zenith of fan service. May heaven bless whomever designed this exquisite menu. It does seem worth the money. Whoa, look at this! I bought a lottery ticket on a whim, and I won! Are you serious, Senpai? How much did you win? 5,000 yen! Huh? That's nothing. Hey, buddy, with a wife as expensive as mine, I need all the help I can get. But tonight, drinks are on me! The man's cheery mood brought a smile to my face. I peered back at the menu. That was ill. That's actually so cute. Like, aw. Sometimes even winning 5,000 yen. Look, it's nice, okay? Just any little win is good, since life is usually just a big fat fucking fail, okay? Okay, let's decide on what to order. You said we got one coaster per item, right? Il nodded. It seemed he already made up his mind. While it was rare for Il to show any sort of interest in food aside from sweets, the occasion stirred something in him, and he ordered the stew, which caught his eye the moment he opened the menu. In that case, maybe I'll go with the pasta. Now for drinks. Oh, Eric. Okay, I was like, latte. I read that for some reason. Latte art I was reading as a la carte. I don't know fucking why. My brain. Because I glanced down and I was like, trendy drink, character latte. Wait, what? Anyway. The trendy drink. Hell no, we want the character latte art. Fuck yeah. Thank you for waiting. The server set down her tray and placed down our meals along with our steaming cafe lattes. I noticed Il had ordered the same thing. Whoever prepared the drink drew a lovely illustration directly on the foam. Latte art refers to the technique of drawing pictures on the surface of cafe lattes and cappuccinos. There are two types. Free pour, where the picture is made while pouring milk foam, and etching, where a special tool is used to draw detailed pictures after pouring the milk foam. Who cares? It's still fucking shit I can't do. Either way. Wow, this is amazing! How'd they do it? Indeed, well put. I hesitate to drink it for fear of spoiling its immaculate presentation. Fucking Instagram that shit. However, it would be just as uncouth to let it go to waste. Perhaps it'd be best to archive the memory for we sip. The memory for we sip? Before we sip? I think that's what he meant. Il joyfully took out his smartphone to snap photographs of the latte art. I mean, who the fuck wouldn't? I mimicked him, taking one photo myself to honor the occasion. I stared at it for a moment on my phone, taking in the finer details. It'd be better if you got two different lattes and then you could take like pictures of them together. Like, ah! This part excites me so much. I'm living vicariously through it, just imagining all the fun I would have. This is an animal, right? It's cute, but what is it? A species of seabird, which is congregate. Okay, wow. Okay. Tim, lay off the fucking crack, because your typing is fucking atrocious right now. A species of seabird which congregate near oceans in your planet's southern hemisphere. Better known in common parlance as a penguin. It was a penguin? But look at the way its bangs curl. Why does it have an aristocratic haircut? Irrespective of its hair, it's still a penguin. One seemingly capable of human speech. Oh my god. He was playing Hatoful Boyfriend, wasn't he? There wasn't a penguin in that game, but, you know. Are you... Somehow. Huh, I see. Well, I guess it's a video game after all. Or it's just another one of, like, Dandelion or something where you're dating animals. We got a lot of those games to play. In Japan, some are regarded as a deity. It has its own shrine and even a sect of followers. A god? This lore was getting out of control. The more I heard, the more puzzled I became. She clearly does not fucking understand anything about Otome games, or the joy of imagination. Girl, fail. It occurred to me that asking any lingering questions would only confuse me more. So I decided instead to take in the rich aroma of my food and dig into the meal. It doesn't just look gorgeous, it also tastes delicious. Being a chef myself, on top of owning the cafe, it was a bittersweet admission. But I couldn't deny myself the stimulating experience, which only inspired me more. I wondered to myself how well received a line of illustrated lattes would be at Enchante. Perhaps with latte art of the regulars. Oh my god! Ignis is like, I really fucking hate that this drink has fucking Miser's face on it, but like, whatever, I guess. After all, no other cafe could claim that. Yes, what a wonderful idea it was. I twirled a fork's worth of pasta into a snug bite, mentally working out the details. I suspect you might find this dish delectable as well. Care for a bite? Huh? It's that good? Maybe I will. Very well. Here, is he gonna feed us? Oh, how romantic. Oh my god, yeah, here you go. Cute. As I turned to face Il, I froze. To my surprise, a fancy spoon was held right before my face, neatly cradled with a touch of sauce on top. It is a really pretty fucking spoon. Do we get to keep that fucking spoon when we're done? Like, shit, that's awesome. So this is the design made in the image of that character. Wait, this isn't the time for that! Il? Is this? And no need to hesitate. Go ahead. That's not what I meant. As expected, his gesture drew attention from all around the cafe. Of course, they're like, oh my god, it's a pretty boy, and he's here at this cafe, and he's enjoying it, and he's feeding her. Oh my god, he's not gay. I'm just saying. Seriously? Come on. What's the first thought if you see a pretty boy at an Otome cafe? You're going to assume he, like, dragged there by his girlfriend, or he's gay. Okay? It's maybe wrong. It's maybe a wrong assumption, but I'm just saying. He's enjoying himself. If he's enjoying himself, you're like, he's enjoying... I mean, I know there are men that like Otome games, but they're just rare. They're rare breeds, okay? So, like, these poor girls are probably like, okay, whatever. Oh my god, wait, what is happening? Or dreaming of a pretty boy that looks like he rolled out of an Otome game would feed them stew. I'm just saying, you'd do it too. A fact, however, to which Il seemed oblivious, showing no signs of embarrassment as 100 eyes were pointed at us. I had seen this gesture depicted once or twice in some of my favorite Otome games. Always wanted to see it for myself. He flashed a look of genuine satisfaction. Then Il began to sway the spoon as though to urge me on. Something wrong? Is this not a normal act between two people of intimate closeness? I often see images of it on SNS. Huh? That's right, but... Or is it a case in which I have yet to satisfy the mutual understanding or friendship required for such an act? That was not the case, of course. For all intents and purposes, I should have been close enough to Il by now. Honestly, it was simpler than that. I was embarrassed. I mean, it is a little awkward, somebody that you're just friends with. Like, here you go, I'm going to feed it to you and hold it in your mouth. What? But the last thing I wanted him to do was feel silly, so I tried to muster the courage. Just one bite. I let Il guide his spoon into my mouth, and I ate the stew. Oh, what do you say? Not your typical stew, is it? Yeah, it's delicious. I wonder what the secret ingredient is. It's love. I overcame the sudden trial, and as I let out a mental sigh of relief, ah, yes, I'd like to sample your dish as well. Poke. Il pointed to his own lips, smiling as though he waited for me to reciprocate. It was only natural for me to do so, right? As if to answer my question, he gazed at me with his innocent eyes. I don't think he's as innocent as he pretends to be, I'm just saying. With a bright red blush, I obliged. After completing the second sudden trial, as I take a bite of the additional dessert which Il had ordered, would you like to order some goods? Button badges and acrylic keychains for both her and myself. The maximum number permitted for each of us, please. The maximum? Understood. His casual manner of requesting was impressive. Excuse me. Would you by chance be willing to trade your coaster for the character I have? I was ready to ask the question. I have little experience participating in this kind of event, so I'm relieved you asked in my stead. Then Il bounced happily around the different stations, trading duplicates with other girls. If anything, I was thrilled that Il was enjoying his time at the cafe. That's actually kind of fun too, because like, anytime you get blind bags or anything, you always get the character you don't fucking... You're like, so there's 5 characters I like out of the... And you get 5 badges, and you're like, there's 5 characters out of the 7 that I like, okay? And you get the 2 you don't like, and you get duplicates of fucking... And you're like, I got... What the fuck is this? I did that once. I had a bunch of blind bags for pens, and I was like, it's okay, I like most of the characters, so I got enough that, like, right? I got the same character, like, 4 times. What the... But... How the fuck... Really? What? What? How? Fuck you. It sucks. Like... So I was really shocked I did one... Like, it was unclear when I was buying the pink because it was fucking expensive, mind you. I thought it was like for the full set, and I'm like, well, that's a damn good price for the full set of 6. No, it was for 1, and I was like, that is a really expensive price for 1, but like, whatever. I was like, fine. I'm like, I'm not gonna get the one character, my favorite. Not gonna get my favorite. Probably won't get him, it'll be fine, like, because I like most of the other characters, but I won't get my favorite one. I'll just have to find it somewhere else, right? I actually got my favorite character, and I've never been happier in my life, just finding that one. But that's not how it usually works. That's not, for me, it's, You're like, it's frustrating. So, like, events like this would be so exciting. You're like, run around, who wants this one? Yeah, trade! Because you know there's somebody that gets the character you want and is like, God damn it, why do I always get this character? I don't like this character. And you're like, why do I always get the one I don't like? Let's be best friends and swap. If anything, I was thrilled that Il was enjoying his time at the cafe. I'm enjoying his time at the cafe. I'm, like, really into this. Even for myself, there was a merit to be found mingling with fans at such an event. It was a wonderful introduction to Otome. Of course, speaking of Otome games, I recalled our conversation earlier that day. By the way, Il, I overheard you discuss some kind of remastered game with Ignis this morning. Spacey, are you interested in that title? Yeah, you said it was the first Otome game you played after coming to the human world, right? Someone was like, huh? I never realized Ignis's eyes looked like that. I was too busy reading. Oh my god, that makes that conversation in the last part so much funnier. And they're remaking the first Otome game I ever played, one so dear to my heart, and the release date soon approaches. Oh. And the game itself was a golden classic with a dated game engine, but no means for one to download. It was tragic, a cruel era in time. But now, after a decade's worth of gaming innovation, I get to savor it once more. It's truly a miracle, a reward for the lifetime of my love, devotion, and prayers which lay in the bounty belonging to heaven. Okay, didn't keep those eyes the whole time, but it was still funny. Indeed, I must credit that game for providing true insight into the wonderful world of romance. It preaches the value of unconditional love. I would say, like, more men should pick up Otome games so that they learn, but all they're going to learn is how to be assholes. Because we really love the assholes in games. I mean, look at me, like, I'm sorry. Excuse me, could you slam me up against a wall and call me an idiot one more fucking time? Because I like it. But, like, you try to do that shit in real life, it's fuck you, douche canoe. Like, you know. So, you know what, maybe don't. Because what women like in Otome, we don't like in the real world. Like, fucking at all. Like, the sweet guys, you're like, oh, he's so nice and adorable. Like, I would want a real person like that, but in the game, like, I'm not interested. Where's the fucking douchebag? That one. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, seriously? Like Yang in POVRA? Give me a fucking break. Anyone like that in real life, you'd be like, hell no! 911, fucking help! But, like, in this, you're like, whatever you want to do to me is fine. There's really nobody that bad in this one. They're all pretty, like, fine. Nobody's really an asshole. Ignis is a little rough around the edges, but even he's not an asshole, you know what I mean? So, yeah. What a sentimental thought. Dare I say, I haven't the faintest clue who I'd be today without playing it. He's pouring out tears. And they're glistening. I got the impression from Il's heartfelt claim that the game left a huge mark on him. If one wishes to acquaint themselves with beautiful matters concerning the heart, then they need look no further than the Otome. Just thinking about it stirs my anticipation for its release. Is there no possible way for it to come sooner? I mean, I feel like I wish I had that connection. Like, Amnesia was the first one we really played. Played it on the channel. First one I actually really played. I played, like, a mobile one. Like, I started playing it, but it was one, like, I don't like the mobile ones because it's like, oh, you have to dress up, and then you have to do that, and you spend too much time, and you're like, this ruins the fun of actually reading the game. So doesn't really count for me. So I hate mobile Otome games, although Ayakashi Romance Reborn is really fucking fun. I spend more time playing the card building deck and doing all that than I do reading the story. So it's really more like a card game with pretty boys on it. It's totally, like, not even the same thing. But it's like, so Amnesia Memories was really the first one that we played. Like, of, like, the big name games. And yet, Code Realize is the one that sticks with me the most. Because I feel like that's the one that I put all other Otome games up against. But Amnesia was the first. Huh. I gotta replay it, but anyway. I can tell you're excited. Still, love, huh? I was hit with anxious thoughts of my own. What was it about love that had so thoroughly entranced Il? Was he romantic? My gut instinct told me that his fascination with the concept was more rooted in his love for Otome rather than romance itself. Since he was an angel, on top of being referred to as Cupid, it seemed he just liked love. That seemed like the likeliest situation. In which case, what was the worth in questioning him about it? The more I discussed the game with him, however, the more interested I became. Not to mention, playing it would help me understand Il better. If it's so interesting, then maybe I should try it too. Really? Il is all of us when someone's like, I should try your hobby. What? Are you gonna get into my hobby too? No, like, okay. Yeah, lately I have some time and stamina to spare too. Except for when it's people who are like, oh, I'm totally gonna get into your hobby, because then I can be like, I'm totally into this. Yeah, I'm totally, like, and they're copying you to be an asshole. Like, fuck those people. I know those people. But when it's people who are like, oh my god, yeah, I played that game, and oh my god, let's talk about it. I mentioned this to Il as I skipped to the menu's title info page, hoping to learn the hardware requirements. However, what could I do? It was far more expensive than I had anticipated. I could ask Il if he'd let me borrow it, but doing so likely meant less time for him to play it himself. I would be like, hey, when you're done playing it, can I play it? I looked up, lost in thought. And there he was, still beaming with joy, ready to continue talking about the game in great, lengthy detail. After everything I said, it seemed painful to admit my doubt in being able to afford it. I guess I need to save up some money. I softly muttered under my breath so Il wouldn't hear me. It seems that when it comes to completing the Coast Collection. It seems that when it comes to completing I think it's supposed to be Coaster Collection. Okay. It seems that when it comes to completing the Coaster Collection, and the high number of attendants worked in our favor. Right. Since they're random, we ended up with a ton of duplicates. But we could go again. The Otome Cafe is going to be open for a while, right? Il began to blink his eyes at me when I posed the question. You want to go again? With me? Sure, if our schedules align. I affirmed Il's hopes, causing his cheeks to relax. Splendid. With you here beside me, I feel truly liberated, free to be myself. Of course, before that, outings with Sohan and the others were also worthwhile, but our previous outing, along with the Otome Cafe today, were not opportunities that came often. I see. I'm happy if you're having fun, Il. We talked lively as we headed back to Enchante. At first glance, Il was acting fairly normally, no different from any other pedestrians. But I couldn't help myself from letting Ignis's warning drift back into my head as I looked at Il. No, you want to pat the baby on the back for leaving the house, but he's still gonna crap his pants. The guy's got no idea how to act in front of humans. He's a walking nuclear bomb and no one has a clue. Couple that with his lack of social etiquette, and baby, you don't stand a chance. Put us on a timesheet and give us shifts if you want. The moment someone takes their eyes off him, boom, disaster. Take it from me. And that's why you can't loosen the leash just because he's learning how to be normal. In these circumstances, Il wasn't outwardly causing any problems, and our simple outings went smoothly. Considering Il's carefree personality, sure, there were a number of things I needed to look out for, but yeah, it's nothing to worry about. I mindlessly blurted my thoughts aloud. As we approached a familiar park, Il stopped walking. Spacey, would you like to rest in the park? Considering the distance we walked, are you feeling fatigued? Huh? But don't you want to hurry back to your room to open your goods? Their contents won't change no matter when I open them. And regardless, I value them less than your health. He smiled gently as he made his suggestion. True, just as he said, my legs felt a bit sore. I see. In that case, would it be okay to accept your offer? Why wouldn't you open your goods at the store so you could trade with people? I gotta sneeze. You know what I mean? Like you were trading coasters. But like, it would be like, let me open my goods and be like, ha ha ha, I got 5 pins and they're all the same. Trade with people. I'm just saying. Right? Just like you would trade your coasters. Holy crap, all my shit's in a giant knot over here. Ale and I found ourselves at a nearby bench, upon which we sat to take in the sights. Wow, this is really in a giant knot. Time slowly passed. I thought I could get the knot undone, but I can't. Like, without unplugging shit. The bustle of town echoed from the distance, along with lively voices of children. Combined with the fair weather and my fatigue, naturally... I had a lot more yawns yesterday, but... Other day for you. A yawn spontaneously welled up from within. Whenever sleepy thoughts entered my head, oftentimes that would be it. I started to nod off to sleep. Spacey, I wouldn't mind if you chose to relax for a moment around me. I'll let you know before the sun sets. At Ill's gentle prompting, my field of vision dimmed further and further. My cheek leaned over and touched his shoulder, and just before I passed out... while I'm at it, perhaps I shall sing you a lullaby so you may sleep more comfortably. From Ill's throat, a clear and beautiful singing voice spread through the park. Did he just... Oh god, he knocked everyone out. It lulled me into a world of slumber. He sang me a lullaby. It went throughout the park. I'm concerned. I'm just saying. As my thoughts began to dull, my field cut in and out. Why was I here? What was I doing? Unable to find the answer, my consciousness flitted between light and darkness. Oh my, have you awoken, Spacey? A soft-spoken voice lifted me from my heavy slumber. Why is everyone passed out on the lawn? It appears my lullabies lulled them to sleep. I'm just anticipating that. I would laugh. Thank you, Ill. I think I dozed off for too long. Right? Or so I was about to ask. Within my field of sight, there were several people collapsed to the ground. Told you. I was dumbstruck. What's going on? Right before our eyes, men and women fainted throughout the park. The old man sitting on the bench next to us hunched over like he had gone limp, with his eyes closed. That wasn't all. Even dogs that were being walked and birds, which moments earlier chirped in the trees, had fallen to the ground. In other words, for some reason, every person and animal within the park lost consciousness. A bizarre situation, to put it lightly. This is bad! We need to call an ambulance! I hurriedly pulled out my smartphone to make the call, but... There's no need to call. These people have simply fallen asleep. Huh? Ill nonchalantly interrupted me. I told you when he I'll sing you a lullaby, and his voice echoed through the park, and I was like, this is what fucking Ignis was talking about, and that's why they did that flashback. We were not paying attention for 5 minutes as we were slowly taking a nap, and he just wreaked havoc on the park. Fucking hilarious. Oh my god, that's great. As he said, when I took a closer look at the unconscious people, one was snoring away, resting comfortably with his tongue sticking out. Yeah, but that had to hurt when they fell. Ill? A cold sweat dripped down my back. Don't tell me this was... Yes, that would be the effect of my lullaby. That's magic for you. I did it to help you sleep comfortably. However, it seems to have affected everyone within quite some range. They should all wake up naturally within no time, so there's no need for concern. He just says it so whatever. I screwed up! I was at my wit's end, ready to scream! With within no time? Wait, how long will that be? Given the circumstances, since they're humans with no magical resistance, I anticipate 3 days. That's practically a coma! Then, from outside the park, people gather in large numbers, noticing the mass of people who were rendered asleep. What should we do? Today's top story, an entire park has inexplicably fallen into a coma. I was beginning to see the headlines playing on TV in the future, but I couldn't just leave these people in their current state, so I thought it best to call an ambulance. As I grabbed my smartphone out of my pocket, 2 familiar figures drew out from the crowd and began to approach us. Like, I know it's just normal face for them, but I just feel like it's disappointed face right now. You two? Oh, dang. Something in my gut told me it was magic, but I had no idea it was Ill's doing. Miser! Rindo! Oh, what a coincidence. It's strange to see you two together. Are you on an outing? Of course not. I just happened to be passing by. Miser's the one who sensed your blunder. Rindo seemed a bit flustered. He motioned with his eyes toward us at Miser, urging him to say something. Oh, right. You don't have to tell me. I'll deal with it. Oh, I suggest covering your ears, humans. Here's a special delivery from the demon world. Harpy screech. Just a moment. I don't want to hear this either. Harpy, a monster that appears in Greek mythology, also called Harpuia? The face and chest are of a human woman, but the rest of the body is a bird, including wings. They often appear in RPGs as an enemy. As Rindo and I put our hands to our ears... I'm not screeching! Buddy, I'm gonna need you to make a screechy noise, okay? Where are you? I need your assistance. We need to scream. I need you to... Not a cluck. I need you to scream. Will you scream for me? You shriek? Shriek! Make a shrieky noise. Now I want you to shriek and you won't. This is perfect timing for you. You're not capable of being a voice-acting bird. You know what? You're not good at this. You gotta learn to take direction. I need a... Shriek! There you go. That was your shriek. It would have been perfect timing. Ow! Even with my ears covered, the shrill voice pierced through my head. There you go. There you go! Little late, but it's okay. The shrill voice pierced through my head. After several seconds... No, we're just going to keep doing it. Okay, I needed you to do it once. I need you to not continue to do it, please. Thanks. All of the slumbering people and animals began to wake, one by one, in confusion. Well, I guess that's that. You handle the witnesses, Rindo. Okay, I've already made arrangements. More importantly, first we need to give our fallen angel here a lecture. Ill's like, what? Ill was taken by total surprise. All he could muster as a response was a troubled tilt of his head at Rindo. He's like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. Like, everyone fell asleep, but it's fine, right? With the uproar in the park settled, we all managed to return to Enchante. However... Ill sat poised in his chair with all of the other regulars encircled around him. Aww. Rindo, too, was at the center, slamming his fist onto the table as he interrogated Ill. Now then, Ill, got anything to say for yourself? Let's see. If you insist upon knowing... Karia, your calculations are incorrect, and the value you just found should be substituted for Y, not X. Wait, seriously? Oh, I see. This was a trick question. Thanks for the save. After receiving the instruction, Karia, who was bent over in a seat a few tables over, ran his pen through his homework assignment. That's not what I meant. Rindo, for what reason have you been so upset with me? All I did was sing. Yet you chastised me for doing so. I have no memory of ever receiving such a warning before. Ill's lack of concern prompted Rindo to grab him angrily by the temples, forcing Ill to look up at him. With a look of indifference, how can you tell? Canis doesn't have a face. Canis cut into the conversation. I guess you just assume his face always looks indifferent because you can't say it. Il, for starters, I want you to think carefully about what your little song did to all those people. As instructed, Il reflected back to that time.
I have heard a recent trend that humans on the whole have had their sleep schedules reduced, which is adverse on their health. With the help of my song, however short its duration, they received quality rest. I see this as a good deed, don't you agree?
He gazed back proudly in an almost divine way. Oh, he's so simple. Well, yes, I suppose so. No, that's wrong! I saw Miser straining a smile at his interaction, so I asked him a question. Oh, straining a smile at this interaction. Wow, okay, that makes more sense. So I asked him a question. Miser, does Il's magic work whenever he sings? As I recalled the time in which we walked into the coolness of the evening light, Il was singing, which sprang forth a miracle of sorts. It depends on the situation. This time he did so unintentionally and ended up involving everyone around, but normally it's possible to designate these kinds of spells with targets and areas before activation, so it's not a common thing. I see. So this doesn't always happen. That's good. Well, maybe not good. Furthermore, while Il's magic is not entirely dependent on his voice, it seems when angels utilize magic, song is an important part of the ritual. For instance, when casting a larger or perhaps more concentrated spell, song may aid in the process. In other words, by performing a divine hymn, he strengthens his spell's power. Angel's Song, an important ritual for angels. By offering a song to heaven, they can be bestowed with increased magical power or other desired effects. What a thought-provoking concept. People use shrines in this country to pray to their gods for blessing, or offer a dance in tribute. Think of it as a similar gesture. Ah, I get it. Wait, if it was a prayer, does that mean Il had prayed for me to rest, which resulted in his powerful lullaby? Put simply, the cause of the disturbance was my own existence? I became dizzy with anticipation and began to sweat bullets in my head. Regardless, we can deal with this another time, but Il needs to think before he acts. How many times have we been through this now?
If you mean similar instances of questioning, I've experienced this only 37 times since coming to Enchante.
If you can remember that, you should remember the rest. Indeed. Before I knew it, the cafe's usual calm atmosphere was disturbed. Everyone, wait a second. Are you already done with this conversation? Everyone gave me a puzzled tilt of the head in response to my question and blinked curiously. I know things thankfully worked out, but a lot of people were involved. Maybe you should get Il to understand a little more about how dangerous it could have been. You know, like, shouldn't you explain it a little more to him? Do you know what you did? Not really. Okay, well. I drew my gaze once again to Il, the one at the center of this. His eyes were closed as he was lost in song. There was no mistaking it. He had no idea how dangerous that situation could have been. Not the slightest grasp. He's like singing in his head, oh, leave me alone, don't bug me anymore. And then they stop harassing him and you're like, Il, stop it! Don't you dare sing to ward them off! Just because it worked out in the end, I don't think we can leave it there. He needs to know why you were scolding him and why his actions were problematic. We should explain it thoroughly and talk about it in specifics until Il understands.
Explain the specifics. I see. True, if you did that, I could take potential countermeasures.
Surprisingly, Il responded affirmatively to my suggestion. I cleared my throat and took a breath. With everyone's effort, we can make sure that, no matter what Il does, we can trust him to make the right call. However, we shouldn't miss an opportunity to teach him, not without our help. Il needs to be able to think and make decisions for himself. We should encourage that. After all, in the end, the one to face the consequences and suffer will be ill himself. Honestly speaking, my guess is that ill will write this off as only being prohibited from singing in the park. I began to explain in great detail. Everyone had a surprised look on their face, but they seemed to understand. That's, well, probably true. Because he's not human, he's an angel. Because it's ill, I suppose. We let it slide. And we just figured he would never learn. No, it's because you all suck at being dads. Rindo, I expect better of you. You're old enough to be a dad, for fuck's sake. All right! Listen to Mommy, ill. Well, that's creepy. Well, look. Now that you mention it, that's right. He doesn't know jack shit, so he keeps screwing up. Perhaps we've grown soft from spending so much time with him. Again, we just figured he'd never learn. You just thought he was an idiot. He's not an idiot. He just needs you to explain it in a different way. Even so, despite saying that, it occurred to me that changing Ill's pattern of thought would be quite the challenge. Probably. Then maybe that's why they give up. They're like, Ill, you shouldn't do these things. Do you know why? Not a clue. I'm tired. They basically handle Ill how I handle just real adult life. I just don't want to deal with it, so let's just not. Let's avoid it as much as we possibly can. For now, I decided to explain to him about the specific disturbance. Ill?
Yes, what is it?
Well, it's true that humans value their sleep. It wouldn't be safe for someone to suddenly pass out, then maybe bump their head on the ground, right? That would be dangerous, so going forward, I would appreciate it if you took that into consideration. Would that explanation suffice? What exactly did his silence mean? Normally, it was all smiles, so when he became stone-faced, I had no idea what he was thinking.
I see. The frailty of mankind slipped my notice.
True, that would be dangerous. Or if they're driving cars, they could smash in and kill someone or themselves.
I understand. Going forward, I'll refrain from using sleep magic while outside.
Okay, that's right. Excellent. He grasped what I was telling him. With a sense of relief, I stretched out my arms, after which Ignis said something with a yawn. Well, that might be well and dandy, but didn't I tell you so this morning, huh? Yeah, you were right. Too right, almost. Maybe we need to reassess things. It was really fortunate that no one got hurt. Just sheer good luck. But if our fortunes turned... For now, it was nothing more than a what-if scenario, but still, it came to mind. While thinking such things, I went to Rindo and bowed at him slightly. I'm sorry about this, Rindo. I'm sure it takes a lot of work to mobilize GPM. No, it's fine. In fact, it's as you said. It was my fault for letting him off the hook. No, I was the careless one here. Or so it seems. But without even going that far, GPM is a government organization, so we can't keep bugging them. As I was deep in conversation with Rindo, I overheard a conversation that was going on concurrently behind me.
Why has Spacey apologized for something I did?
It's called supervisor responsibility. She took you out without knowing what a numbskull you are.
Supervisor responsibility?
He just killed Ill.
She's my supervisor. I thought she was my friend. Several hours later, after all of us had finished our dinner, supervisor responsibility. When a high-ranking member of a team takes responsibility on behalf of their team, I opened a dictionary on my smartphone and repeated the definition in my head. To think there was a custom for falling on the sword for someone else's plunder. But then I remembered when Rindo went all over Amasaki Island on an apology tour. I don't understand. Who received what benefit for the establishment of such a rule? Humanity was truly incomprehensible.
His fucking body pillow is just amazing, by the way. It's hilarious.
However, it would be for the best if I apologized to her directly. My lack of foresight had embarrassingly moved Spacey to bow an apology. She seemed truly regretful. This stirred feelings I couldn't quite place, but manifesting such consequences inspired me to never make the same mistake again. I crept quietly downstairs. I overheard a running faucet. It seemed she was in the kitchen tidying things up after dinner. Slowly, I continued. I tiptoed towards the kitchen.
Tiptoed toward the kitchen. I'm sorry.
Something had pulled my collar from behind, forcibly halting me in place. I sensed no physical force, but rather a magical manipulation of space. And there was only one being, other than myself, capable of just such magic.
Don't move. Ill, weren't you banned from the kitchen? Do you want juice? Cake? I'll grab it for you, so be a good boy and stay put.
As expected, it was Miser. That's not it. I wanted to see Spacey.
Coffee? Do you want her to make cafe latte? And then you'll have to wait till she's finished.
No, I'm saying... He misunderstood my objective completely. However, I had no time to explain, and he forcibly sat me down at a stool beside the counter.
There! I'm heading back to the demon world. You'd better tip her working after hours. We don't want to be rude, right?
With that parting gift, Miser fled the room, shutting the gate behind. I had been given clear instructions not to enter, so I had no choice. All I could do was wait here for Spacey to come out.
Hey, Spacey, I finished washing these dishes here. Leave wiping them to dry to me. Okay, thanks, you two.
It seemed I had erred, for Spacey was not alone. Candace and Ignis kept her company. Judging by their tone of voice, they were assisting her with the cleaning. For some reason, I was assailed by a dull knock of emptiness. Still, it seems this will take some time. I should return to my room. With that, I marched back to my room. And then I rested my cheek upon the hammock which lay in place of a bed. And normally I would immediately pick up a nearby game console and start up an Atome game, but at the moment, it felt like a hollow pursuit.
Oh, he's so depressed he doesn't even want to play Atome games. Oh, poor thing. He's broken.
In open public spaces, I had been forbidden from singing divine hymns. If only they had told me earlier, I wouldn't have erred so egregiously. Wow.
Egregiously. Aired so egregiously.
However, where could I have obtained such information? I hadn't been here in 10 years. Such matters were of no consequence before. When Sohan was still alive, this place, Enchante, was my world. I once believed Atome games to be the cornerstone of my emotional education.
Too bad you didn't have an Atome game about an angel at a cafe who goes out and does stupid shit that you could learn from. I'm just saying.
Once in a while, Ignis would drag me out, or I'd venture outside with Sohan, but no matter what occurred, it was swiftly dealt with, and no such criticism had been levied at me. Which is why I had no need to learn of the world outside, and nor did I have any interest. But now is different. Ever since Spacey arrived, and my curiosity in the outside world blossomed, I sought knowledge outside of my comfort zone. But my fervor, in tandem with my carelessness, caused considerable trouble for Spacey. Not only had she escorted me to something I insisted upon seeing, I repaid her kindness by foisting responsibility onto her. These cryptic feelings stirred tirelessly within me, so I sought comfort by nervously caressing my limited edition figurine. The means and process to purchase such goods was well recorded, so I learned it immediately. Learn common sense. Study society. Over and over, Rindo, Ignis, and others instructed me to do so. However, no matter how many internet pages I parsed through, I found no such documents. I hadn't a clue what to reference. What were Sense and Sensibility?
You read Sense and Sensibility, the fucking novel, and he's like,
this doesn't make any sense to me about how I'm supposed to behave in modern society. How had they differed from manners? What things are allowed to be done? What things are subject to punishment? What helps others adapt to the human world as if it were nothing?
Yeah, common sense is not so fucking common, though, so that's what's hard. Especially for him.
And why am I the only one here in Enchante who's been left behind. Spacey's a good human. She politely listened to what I have to say and took me to places at my request. Causing trouble for her was no admirable act. That, at least, I understood. Then, going forward, to avoid repeating the same thing, was it best for me to refrain from ever asking her to take me outside? He would not
give me the answer at a time like this? Or just would not answer at a time like this? Oh, well, downloading data into your brain. Ill, do you mind if I enter?
A voice at the door interrupted me whilst deep in thought. This low, piercing voice belonged to Canis, as he finished assisting Spacey. I had no particular reason to refuse him entry. Come in, I returned through the door.
Excuse me, I was a little concerned about you at dinner. About today's matter, don't pay it too much mind. Of course, re-examination couldn't hurt. However, since we failed to address the issue in the first place, the burden fell on us. Ill, is something the matter?
I should be asking you. Is something the matter, Canis? You're staring at me. A strange feeling came buzzing in my ear. Had I struck a nerve with him?
No, it's just the air about you differs from usual. Could this mean that our Ill is feeling a bit pensive?
Induced by Canis tilting his head in question at me, I returned the same gesture.
Open those damn Amazon boxes, would you? What the fuck? They've been sitting there for weeks.
The following day, thanks to everyone's quick reactions, the incident never went public.
But we weren't totally off the hook. Oh, this fucker! Oh, hey, Akira, what's up?
Oh, I see. Quite the intriguing phenomenon.
Well, it feels more like something that was bound to happen.
At the time, an unusual combination of guests had arrived. Of all the regulars who normally could handle the rush without issue, only Rindo is here with me.
I don't know how strong Ill is, but he'd never make it in Beastia. He'd be skinned alive in no time.
You know what? Shut the fuck up. Oh my god. Punt him back to Beastia. Get out of here, Dromi. We don't like you.
But he still doesn't call me by the right name. Are all angels such airheaded dopes?
Thanks for waiting. Here are the hot cakes and the vanilla ice cream you ordered.
Yes, thank you for your service. Now to get right to... Aren't these hotcakes normally served, I don't know, warm?
Sucks to be you. I'm glad I just ordered ice cream. What the? Why in the hell did I bend my spoon?
When did it bend my spoon? Sorry. Karia? These two are here as customers right now. I got that, Cordono. Karia and Cordono next to him clicked their tongues at the same time. I love that. The fact that the fucking Uniseal does it. Sorry about this. After hearing about the disturbance yesterday, they insisted to come along. Mikado and Dromi have been spending lots of time together. Now here they are. No, it's fine. There's still customers here. I appreciate their business. Especially because Mikado's the only one aside from Rindo with real fucking money. Our lively chat continued for a short while.
Yes, but still, that's quite like a fallen angel. His peculiarity is most intriguing.
Mikado had given up on poking his hot cakes with his fork, gazing at the stairs leading to the second floor. Did you say peculiarity?
Yes, very much so. Even among non-humans, he's a rare breed. Angels know what I mean. His body and mind are remarkably powerful, yet somehow he's failed to grasp some of the most basic aspects of humanity. He's a paradox. If that's not a peculiarity, what is?
And Mikado's like, I would know, right? Now that Mikado had said it so fervently, I stopped working for a minute.
Oh, I think he might be onto something. Even I've gotten used to living here. He's a weirdo. How to put this? Where I come from? What do we call that kind of person? An airhead?
Funnier because like Dromy has the voice.
Like, I swear, dude.
Sounds like you would be a fucking airhead. He's called ill an airhead. It's just funnier. That's...
Therefore, how about we take this opportunity to conduct a psychiatric test on ill, just like with Karia? Yes, in fact, right now!
Upon saying this, Mikado ran up the stairs to the second floor. Hey, wait! You can't just go up on your... However, without a moment's delay, Rindo grabbed him by the collar and restrained him.
Let me go. You should accept the goodwill of others when they offer.
No, this isn't out of goodwill. It's simply your own curiosity, isn't it? You've completed your objective. Go back home. Weren't you supposed to meet with someone?
I won't give up. Wash your neck, or rather your wings to fluff them up and wait for me, fallen angel ill.
This isn't a petting zoo. After being casually tossed out by Rindo, Mikado strides away from the shop.
The guy's saying that it's just as big of a weirdo as ill.
It almost felt like Kororo gave Dromy a cold look and told him, "You're one to talk." Also, I just thought of something. Aren't the majority of non-humans just like ill? It's only people like Canis who are quick to get used to living here. What do you mean? You know, like how sometimes... Oh, like how sometimes... Oh, like how Okay, I couldn't read that. Okay, wow, my brain was like, what is going on here? You know, like how I sometimes have to go to take a breather in Medio to maintain my health. Well, there I like to meet with small fairies and such, but what I say often doesn't translate. They always ask, what's that? So I have to explain. Normally, you know, it's just understood what it is, and you don't have to explain it, right? On hearing Karia's words, Rindo realized something. I see. For example, if you were to tell a fairy roads with cars are dangerous, so be careful, to warn them. Right, first I'd have to explain, what's a car? And then go into explaining, what about a car is dangerous? That made total sense. After all, fairies had wings. There was no need for cars in their world. And those fairies are only able to live in Medio, so it doesn't really matter. But Il had to put all effort into living in the human world and didn't really have the opportunity to learn those things, right? Well, of course there's also his bad habit of locking himself inside of his room. That's right. Il's homeland, also known as... Was it Kylum? Kylum? We have no idea how to say it. Anyway, seems to put value in different things. What was he thinking? Rindo went silent with a serious look on his face. Maybe Grandpa had felt the same. He had to put all his effort into helping Il settle into a normal life. There was no time to teach him anything else. If only he had more time. But if Il ever changed his mind, if he strongly desired to know more about the human world, I'd want to help him however I could, to help him fulfill his dream. However, speaking of Il, he hasn't shown up to the cafe at all.
Isn't that how it normally goes? Guy's a gamer, if you know what I mean.
I guess that's true, but I just hope he's not too down about yesterday. Why are you still here, by the way? Get out! I looked over at the stairs that Mikado charged towards only a minute ago. A flurry of anxious feelings came at me. Alright, perfect timing. So I'm going to wrap this part up here, and we'll just continue in the next part. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up, and subscribe to see more.